And we're back here on the light. Raymond Tyler is who I am. I'm here with this guy, or this guy over here, James Whitehead from the James Whitehead Power Hour, reminding you Monday, the 15th of December. It's a breakfast, the Atlantic Coastal. You got a long name there,
I know
Atlantic,
Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone.
but you want to go there. I've been to several of James Whitehead's breakfasts, and I leave with no less than 10, 15 contacts every time I go. So it's a
Bravo.
great opportunity for you to network and business. And then you got the rest of the day to yourself to do whatever you need to do. When we
That's
left, we were talking about though how you set up your podcast, the Power
yeah.
Hour. So I just want to explain to people how men of business I believe should get along. And so you called me up and said, Ray, can you help me set up this podcast equipment I ordered? So, we got a history. I said, sure. And we tried to make the time work. And then when I called you back, you said that you were gonna work with Keyshawn Wyman. Now, here's the thing. I need people to support the James Whitehead Power Hour.
Thank you.
I need the James Whitehead Power Hour to be the best podcast
Mm,
it can be.
amen.
Because when people follow your podcast and support it, I believe that eventually the shine will come off to what I do here in the mornings as well. I've always believed there's room for everybody.
Yes,
And
sir.
so if you were saying you were working with somebody of lesser talent than me, I would have said, well, if it don't work out or if you need some additional help, call me back. But
Right.
once you told me you were working with Keyshawn Wyman, and shout out to Keyshawn Hitter, as they call him in the streets, I
Yeah.
said, oh no, he's good. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
Wyman's a pro. And
Brilliant.
something I didn't say is that Keyshawn did the sound for the new stadium over in Atlantic City, the new baseball stadium.
Okay. Right. Right.
That place sounds as good as any outdoor facility and most indoor facilities that I've been to.
Yeah.
So he is a professional, and when it
Absolutely.
comes to sight and sound, he knows his thing, and you
Absolutely.
could not be in better hands.
And he's also a cybersecurity expert. That's the one
I
thing
did
that
not know that.
attracted that was one thing that well first I knew his father, you know,
Okay,
doing his the hot barber shop down there he comes from a great entrepreneurial family locally.
okay,
And when I saw in his office, he had all these certificates on his desk from where he had got his cybersecurity certifications. And that's what really attracted me to this brother, right? I didn't know all the other incredible entrepreneurial things he does every day. And then when the podcast thing came about, and I was talking to you, and he said he could do it also. I was trying to meet a deadline because what I wanted to do was make sure I started my podcast on the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March on Washington, D.C. And I
okay.
had to, even though I didn't know what I was doing, I'm a stickler about sticking to a schedule or a date or
Deadline.
time frames I say as a goal. You know, if I set a goal for myself, I'm going to achieve that goal. Even if I don't do it 100%, somebody's going to say he at least had enough nerves to do it. So I
Right.
started it on that date. The first two interviewers I had, the first interviewer was my grandson Grayson, who's 13, and he's always building models. He loves engineering, etc. So I brought him on for 15 minutes to talk about some of the models he was working on. And then I brought this brother on named Dua Sherrill from Los Angeles and Watts. And Dua, he helped Jim Brown put together Americana, which helped get the
Okay.
games together. And he also was one of the California lead person to organize for the Million Man March. So I was able to have an actual person who helped organize the Million Man March on
Okay.
my first show. And from that point on, I do it every Friday from 5 to 6 o'clock. And I was talking about different subjects when I was first getting started because I just wanted to fill the content space. I was always in a rush trying to make the time frame. But then one of my nieces from New York told me that I should have a particular focus subject because when people following, they want to know specifically what I'm working on. So when I came up with this collaboration for the Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone Initiative, I said, you know what? For the next several months, this is what I'm going to focus on. So people can learn what is an opportunity zone. Well, opportunity zone is a designated piece of land, piece of property that the federal government and the state government has passed laws that when an investor invests in that piece of property, the investor does not have to pay taxes on their investment for 10 years. Secretary Scott Turner was just visiting an Opportunity Zone project up in Michigan last week, where some investors invested $1.4 billion to build some new housing and new apartments and condominiums. So it's a very attractive way to get investors interested. But we have a double digit interest. We not only have an Opportunity Zone, we have an ocean, we have a beach. This is the
Definitely.
jewel. This is the jewel of Atlantic County, of Atlantic Coastal. The fact that we have a beach. So when an investor invests in our opportunity zone, they really get a huge investment opportunity because not many opportunity zones are on a beach. Most
Right.
opportunity zones are inland, blighted areas that need investment, that need new housing. We have an opportunity zone beach. I mean,
Right.
that's
Right.
that might be the only one that God made in the whole America. I don't know. But I know with Jared Kushner looking at investing here now, you got some other investment coming in. We've got to make sure local Atlantic City folks are at the front of that line when those investments start turning into dollars. Because Atlantic City local folks always get left out. And we want to ensure that there's no more leaving us out. We want to collaborate with the other 5 cities so we can bring all of our resources together and having a unity effort that everybody benefits from.
And there you have it. You're listening to The Light powered by Atlantic City Focus. If you're enjoying this interview, if you missed part of this interview, you can watch it again at AtlanticCityFocus.com. We're here with James Whitehead from U.S. Heart Cares, and we're talking about um, investment opportunities, cybersecurity, and more importantly, he has a breakfast coming up on Monday, the 15th of December, uh, that's going to bring together leadership from Atlantic City, uh, Margaret Longport, Brigantine. Uh, who else am I forgetting? I don't want to
Ventnor,
mention
Ventnor and Pleasantville, Ventnor and
Clinton
Pleasantville,
and Pleasantville.
all six of the
So,
sister cities.
so if you have a business from a lemonade stand to a multi-million dollar casino or anything in between,
Absolutely.
you need to be at that particular breakfast, and you can email him to get on that list, but you need to do it soon because the list is just about filled up.
Yes. Yes. And email me
Can
at
you give your email
Sure.
address one more
Sure.
time, please?
James dot Whitehead, James James dot Whitehead, Whitehead at us dash heart, HART.org. If you send me an email and express your desire to attend our 8:30 to 11:30 breakfast on December 15th, which is next Monday, focused on the Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone, send me an email and we will take your RSVP and be completely complimentary.
All right, all right. You said you had some testimonials you wanted to share.
Sure, sure. Well, first, I do want to say this too. I got to give a big shout out to Resorts President Mark Giantonio because every time we have asked for his support, for the Atlantic City Business Roundtable breakfasts, for the U.S. Hard breakfasts, for different events we've been doing. Mr. Giantonio at Resorts has been gracious. They have provided a sponsorship and they have continued to support us because we share the same vision for Atlantic City. We can make this a better city working together. But some of the things I wanted to just share a couple of quotes that was in here I thought was important. Our media advisory, where the nonprofit Grace Community Development Corporation, which founder, excuse me, Bishop Robert Hargrove stated, opportunity zones are a wonderful economic development tool in the United States that provide tax incentives for investors to reinvest their capital gains into designated low-income urban and rural communities. It's an honor for the Grace Community Development Corporation to collaborate with U.S. Hard Cares, focusing on leading this extraordinary Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zones, which will help spur innovative data, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence job creation and economic growth in distressed areas, as well as Atlantic City's sister coastal cities. Under the distinguished inaugural leadership of Margate's Honorable Mayor Michael Collins, the Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone collaboration will use the December 15th, 2025 breakfast to further discuss their 2026 plans, with the support of local businessmen Dr. Joseph Baritone, Dr. Arthur Nahas, Michael Cohan, and Jimmy Whitehead. The local NAACP president, Kaleem Shabazz, stated, this unique collaboration goal of creating an opportunity for all six municipalities to work together and mutually benefit from the Atlantic Coastal Tourism District Opportunity Zone, located between Atlantic Avenue and the Boardwalk, and from New Hampshire Avenue to South Albany Avenue, is admirable and much needed. Mayor Michael Collins stated, the Tourism District Opportunity Zone provides a great platform for our innovative strategic collaboration to expand new Atlantic Coastal RX-5 cybersecurity workforce training, economic development, as well as financially rewarding jobs. I'm glad Commissioner Michael Ruffey is commemorating this important initiative with a resolution. That's a good point. Commissioner Michael Ruffey, he's actually going to present a resolution commemorating, memorializing this day of us coming together, which is significant. U.S. Hard President Horace Jones stated, what started as a cybersecurity workforce training sponsored a program sponsored by HUD Secretary Dr. Ben Carson and Congressman Jeff Van Drew is at a point where we can expand our program to local Atlantic coastal cities as well. So what you see here is there's a real collaboration of different kind of folks coming together for the same purpose. How do we help Atlantic City become the greatest oceanfront city in the world again, and at the same time have a positive impact on its five sister cities? So everybody benefits. And just think, we bring in this new revenue and help these five cities with additional investment. It's not going to impact the taxpayers. We're not taking taxpayers' money to do this. We're taking
Right,
private capital to make this happen.
right. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Light. We're here with guest host Jimmy Whitehead from the Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour every Friday from 5 to 6. You can find that on his LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube channels. And you can see this interview at AtlanticCityFocus.com. I want to wrap up, but I was going to ask you back, but since I got you here,
Hmm.
we got to chat, at least start the conversation
Yes, sir.
about the importance of um, having a seat at the table when having a seat at the table with the Democratic Party, the GOP, uh, the NAACP, and this is what I'm saying. We here at Atlantic City Focus We really don't endorse candidates.
Hmm.
We when we have people on Democrat or Republican, we don't ask crazy
Hmm.
gotcha questions. We
Hmm.
ask important questions. We
Hmm.
ask questions that we feel are important to our readers and our listeners. But we treat everybody who comes through this platform with dignity and respect. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is
Hmm.
because I had Don Guardian on before the election,
Hmm.
and I know some people will probably like, oh well, he's a Republican, so I'm just gonna switch my radio off and wait till Don Guardian is off. One of the things that people missed, if they missed that particular interview, is that you can go to his office when he's there and set up an appointment to get real ID
Hmm.
for free. I
Hmm.
mean, there's so many things that and no, this is where I want to go. What you're talking about working with Pleasantville, Longport, Margate, Atlantic City, Brigantine, and what was the other one?
A vintner.
Vietnam. Um, when your program is successful and you're bringing in $600,000, which to the federal government is nothing,
Right.
they spend $600 on paper.
Yeah.
$600,000 on paper. So that's nothing to the federal government. But
Right.
what happens is when that money comes into those communities, it's not just going to benefit um, Van Drew voters or Judy Ward voters.
Right. Right.
All of the voters and all the constituents in these cities are going to benefit. And I
Absolutely.
think really, I wish we could do this every week because I think between the two of us, we have a working knowledge of business that a
Hmm.
lot of people are missing actually,
Hmm. Hmm.
or they deny themselves because they haven't seen it done.
Hmm.
But can you talk to me about the importance of being open to work
Sure.
with, for lack of a better term, both sides of the aisle? And I hate that term, but
Sure. Sure.
we're going to use
Sure.
it right now.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows me is I approach everything in a bipartisan way. That's just what I do because at the end of the day, we are all Americans. We are Republican. I know they got the Republicans. I know they got the Democrats. I know they got the elephant. I know they got the donkey. But that's politics. That's the stuff that goes on during elections. You know, all of the, unfortunately, a lot of times some hateful language goes out during politics, during campaigning. But when the campaigning is over, when everybody has cast their vote, they now want the voters want their representatives that they elected to work together for the good of the people. And what happens, sometimes we get so lost up in the hatred of each other as a Republican or a Democrat, we don't even get to the point of talking about the policies that impact the people that voted for us. So my thing is, let's walk together talking about prospering together because if everybody prospers, then that makes everybody happy too because everybody likes to make some money legally. Everybody needs some money. I don't care how rich you are or how poor you are, everybody needs some money. So we can get together and work on something positive and make money together and create jobs together and be charitable together and give scholarships out to these kids. And if we could do things together as Americans, I think that's when it gets beyond the BS of Republican versus Democrat and vice versa. Because I don't get into that argument. And plus, another thing I've noticed, some people campaign hard against each other, and then when the campaign is over, they still hating each other. Instead of saying the campaign is over, let's shake hands and let's do what the voters elected us to do. Work together to solve their problems. Let's come up with bipartisan solutions to serve the people that sent us here. But they didn't send us here to get in office and still say, he's a Republican, she's a Democrat, I don't like him, I don't like her. That's baby stuff. Okay? That's stuff like little kids in school. We should be grown enough to understand that we have a job as elected officials to serve the people that elected us. That's what it comes down to, red, white, and blue. It ain't a donkey, it ain't an elephant. It's human beings doing humanity type of things. And that's why I love our organization being named U.S. Humanitarian Aid Response Team.
Okay. It sounds like you were waiting on me to ask that question. Ladies and gentlemen, he is
I just
Jimmy
love you, bro.
Whitehead
I love you, brother. I love
from
AC
the Jimmy
Focus, man.
Whitehead Power Hour. And
Amen.
listen, I love you for taking time out of your busy schedule to co-host with me.
Yes, sir.
And right now we're over Zoom, but anytime you want to come into the studio and co-host either an hour or the whole show, let me know. If you want to co-host on Zoom again, let me know. It's been great having you. I'm going to give you opportunity to invite the people out, um, or to give whatever last words you want.
Well, first, I want to thank you, brother, for inviting me on your show. I want to ask that in the future you kind of mentor me to teach me how to be a better host and teach me the tricks of the trade because I know you're a pro and
Well, radio's a little different than podcasting.
well, I still can learn from you.
I got you.
Yeah, because Einstein, he was in his 90s. He said in 90s he still is a student, right? So I'm always
Right.
open to learn more. But I want to thank you. I want to thank AC Focus. I want to thank the wonderful people of all six Atlantic coastal cities for giving us this opportunity to unify and talk about collaborating. We're going to have the Region 2 HUD administrator come in town for this. We got some people coming in from Veterans Affairs who are interested in helping us with homeless veterans. So it's an opportunity for us to all come together and leverage some federal and state resources to help the Atlantic coastal cities become the greatest oceanfront cities again in America. And I just want to thank everybody on your show, the people that follow you, and ask them for their prayers. We all need to spend this Christmas holiday uh, reflecting a little bit about what went on in 2025 and what we anticipate going on in 2026. Because I can guarantee you, 2026 is going to be a lot bigger and a lot better and a lot more prosperous than 2025 was. And that's all I would say, brother. And God bless you all.
There it is. Thank you, James Whitehead. Shout out to Queen Sharon. Can't let this opportunity go
Yes,
by without recognizing the Queen.
absolutely.
Uh,
Hard
Shout
working
out to
lady.
my little brother, Mark
Yes,
Tyler, the man
absolutely.
behind Atlantic
Absolutely.
City Focus .com. And shout out to the people who support us both, like the great Pamela from the city of Atlantic City.
And also a shout out for our great day Mayor Marty Small, who has been supporting what we've been doing from day one. When we were first the Envision Center, the first person that came out and supported us was Mayor Marty Small. He continues to be a big supporter of us. He actually helped us get somebody to help do some of our cybersecurity training. And it was because of Mayor Marty Small that I met a Wyman, Kashawn Wyman. So a big shout
Yes,
out
sir.
to Mayor Marty Small and big prayers for him and his family, what they're going through right now. God bless you, Mayor.
There it is. All right. So we'll be back with a little bit more of the light right after this.
Thank you.